Oh, well, hey, bitch. Listen, we got to talk. We got to have us a conversation about Real Housewives of Orange County, Noella. We have to talk about the newcomer, Noella, and this husband slash ex-husband of hers, Mr. Sweet James, also known as James Bergener. Girl, we got to talk about him. So y'all come on in here, have y'all a cute little seat so we can go ahead and have us a quick chat. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I know we are fresh off of the Christmas holiday. Honey, I enjoyed my Christmas. I had a really good one. I'm probably going to say that again to y'all in one of these other videos I do because I really had a really good Christmas. I've been enjoying my break. And I want to know down in the comments how your Christmas has been going, how you have been enjoying your break, girl. You know what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts if you even getting a break. Okay. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing awesome out there in the streets, honey. Now, I don't know about Miss Noella over there on Real Housewives of Orange County. Now, if you're not watching it, girl, you might want to go ahead and scoot on over there and get into it because this is messy. Okay, we have to talk about it. Okay, so we're talking about the newcomer, Miss Noella Bergener. She just became a part of this season, and on this past week's episode, what we learned is that her husband was having some financial issues, right? And we actually learned this in the prior episode. Her husband was having some financial issues, so she was trying to come up with a way to resolve those financial issues by trying to sell a home that they have out in Puerto Rico. He was not with it. He was totally against it. He told her he absolutely disagrees, right? So he was, it was a little friction in the relationship, okay, in the household because he did not like the idea of selling that home. Okay, well, shortly after that, because things was going a little left to the left with her boo, okay, with her husband, honey, shortly after that, child, he fled California. He went on down to Puerto Rico. I guess he wanted to be in the house to make sure the house didn't sell. In addition to that, he decided to serve her with divorce papers that she said her mother actually received and papers that her mother said were thrown in her face. And all of this happened on last week's episode. Now, on last week's episode, we also saw where Noella actually ended up having like a breakdown of some sort, okay? Not of some sort, girl. She was breakdown, okay? Steady breaking me on down. Miss Girl was really going through it. No. Look, I'm over here in my head thinking about Mariah. I'm gonna have to go play that in a minute with the breakdown song that she had. But Noella was going through a breakdown, honey, when that husband left her. Now, once the video ended up coming out, once the episode ended up coming out, Noella took to social media to give out like a statement, to give people more clarity regarding the situation dealing with her and her husband. So let me go ahead and put that up on the screen so that you guys can see what Miss Noella had to say. Noella says, brutal to relive. 5 months ago, my husband and partner of 6 years left the house with his toothbrush, leaving behind his life, family, and home. He ended our marriage with service of divorce papers from Puerto Rico, which he doesn't qualify for since we are California residents. And nothing untoward happened in our marriage there. We had been arguing since I found out about his tax debts through gossip sites 3 weeks prior and was confused with his pushback to selling our vacation home to cover them. To this date, James has not visited our son or given me any explanation for this departure. He has fled the state to evade service. My cars are still shut off. Now, remember, in this episode, he also shut off her cars. Please understand that their son is autistic, and they found that out over the summer. The son is autistic. He shut off the credit card. So how was she supposed to pay for rent and get food and pay for the therapy of her son? So that was an issue. She says that 5 months ago, this incident happened. Now she's saying that her cars are still shut off to this day. She says that he hasn't paid a dime in support. He stopped paying for our home and is currently holding up our divorce unless I sign a statement saying that I lied about him, his business partner, and his brand. I spoke nothing but the truth and have all of the receipts. If anything, I really protected my husband by not speaking about his issues, but rather focused on my journey in this now divorce. He is the father of my child, and I want him to be well. After his departure, I made the decision to stay on the show we were primarily doing to promote his brand. Interesting to me. Okay, she goes on to say, because frankly, it was the only thing getting me out of bed and with the hope that others going through something similar could understand they're not alone. I realize there are three sides to every story. I have asked him to give an explanation through a third party to provide insight, which he has repeatedly declined. Everything I've said and am saying are facts. Thank you for your continued support and prayers for my family. I don't wish to encourage James bashing with this post, just providing insight to the hell I am still in. Okay, so she says hashtag divorce sucks and hashtag indeed closure. Looks like that is what she's hoping to get some type of closure. This is a messy situation to me. Just the fact that, like I told you guys, he would just flee over to Puerto Rico. Now it's making me believe, now I don't know if it's actual factual, but my thoughts are going to, James, do you have a family in Puerto Rico? What was really going on between you and Noella that will cause you to just go to Puerto Rico and just stay in Puerto Rico? Now, the streets have been talking. A lot of things have been said, okay? And it looks like people were saying that Miss Girl kind of got up with James at the time when he was actually married, okay? That's what the streets is saying. They're saying that's one of the reasons why the mama did not really bond with him originally. And that's something that Noella did say on the past week's episode, okay? On the past week's episode, they're saying that there was not, that they were married, that he was married to someone else and the mama wasn't really fond of him. So that's what we did learn. Well, let me say that again. We did not learn that he was married, but on the past episode, we did learn that her mother was not fond of him in the beginning. And a lot of people are believing that the reason she was not fond of James in the beginning was because James was married. Now, I was reading over here on the Bravo docket, and they have a few details about the marriage and everything surrounding, James and Noella, okay? They're saying that all of this information is coming from court documents. And again, this is on the Bravo docket, okay? They're saying that James and Noella had a very public fake wedding on December 3rd, 2017, even though James was still married to his first wife of 18 years. Girl, that is some messy stuff. Now, after the fake wedding, James put $86,000 on the law firm AMX traveling to Paris, to Dubai, Milan, just traveling all over the place with Noella as a honeymoon, all while still legally married to his first wife. So you was out here putting $86K on the firm while you out here traveling and doing your thing with your wife. Well, let me tell you something, Miss Noella, girl. This is what the people are saying over here at the Bravo docket. Now, girl, they say the same way you got them, it's probably going to be the same way that you're going to lose them, okay? Now, girl, I don't know if he got a whole nother family, but that's what it's giving, okay? That's what it's giving all the way down there in Puerto Rico. That's what it's giving. So let's go ahead and keep reading. They're saying that James didn't file for divorce from his first wife until September 28th of 2018. So he had a fake wedding at the end of 2017, traveled the world with this new woman, Noella, then turned around and filed for a divorce from your wife in September 2018. Okay, now they're saying that this was more than 9 months after he had the fake wedding with Miss Noella. What they're also saying is that in 2019, James unexpectedly stopped paying his ex-wife the $40K monthly spousal support payments she had been relying on for her mortgage, taxes, etc. Okay, so he stopped paying the spousal support for the ex-wife in 2019. I can imagine what the struggle was for this woman. I don't know who she is, but I definitely wonder, especially with all of this happening in 2019 and then turning around and being hit with the pandemic in 2020. Whew, let's keep going. Okay, they're saying that James and Noella did not get legally married until June of 2020. Honey, but y'all have been prancing around, giving us that energy of Dr. Nicole down there in Miami, acting as though y'all is married when y'all not. But let's keep going, okay? Now, while Real Housewives of Orange County was filming in 2021, a federal tax lien was filed against James on June 3rd of 2021, accusing him of owing the U.S. government tax for the years of 2018 and 2019. Now, the state of California filed its own tax lien on July 7th, claiming James owes $1.8 million and some change for both years, totaling up to about $5.8 million plus, okay, in taxes that he owed. James, this is a messy situation, child. If I owe that much, I probably would have left the country too. Let's keep going. Now, they're also saying that Noella owes about $293,000 for unpaid legal bills for a paternity suit that took place between 2014 and 2018. Yikes. Okay, they're also telling us about Noella's father, who was fired from his job as a weatherman for SA, okay, or SH, shall I say. I'm sorry, not SA, but SH. The same year, her mother entered a guilty plea for transporting stolen goods and filing a false tax return, but that actually was not her mother. That was her stepmother, is what they corrected in the article. So, girl, this is a messy situation. I want to know more about Miss Noella, because it sounds like just as much as I'm looking at James with the side eye, it now has me looking at Miss Noella with the side eye that you done started up here and got with this married man that had a fake wedding, and when I hear did all this traveling and stuff like that. Girl, it's a whole lot, going on. So I just want to know more about Miss Noella, girl. But let's go ahead and keep going, because what it looks like here is that when Noella came out with the original statement that I just read to you guys, it looks like her ex-husband, now husband, whatever he is, Mr. Bergener, also known as Sweet James, decided to come out with a video clip of his own. Now, I'm not gonna tell y'all that it sound rehearsed to me, girl. I'm gonna let y'all watch it, and y'all let me know down in the comments what it is that you get from it. So go ahead and check this out.
Hello, James Bergener here. I just wanted to clear up another issue. My divorce from Noella was granted December 8th here in Puerto Rico. It is something I never wish I had to do. I have always been supportive of Noella and all that she has wanted to accomplish, as she has been with me. Her dream is always to be on the show. In fact, years ago when we were looking for places to live, the house had to be vetted to make sure that she could film for Housewives if she ever got on the show. I was so happy when she got on the show. She was ecstatic. As filming got closer and closer, though, she changed. Her sole focus became the show. We rarely spoke, and when we did, it ended up in fights. She retained an attorney, and then shortly thereafter, my attorney reached out to me and said Noella is filing for separation. I had to leave. At that time, it was clear that Noella chose the show over me and the family. I love Noella, but I do not know who she is anymore. I grew up a very conservative Puritan background with Noella. I explored a world of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. We went down a very unhealthy path, and I lost almost everything, including myself. I lost sight of who I was and who I am. Since our separation, I am healthy and happy. I've focused on being a better person, living a better lifestyle for myself, for my son. I take full responsibility for my actions, for my shortcomings, for my faults. I am working on them daily. I will continue to work on them. I wish nothing but the best for Noella. I hope she is able to achieve all the dreams that she has, and I hope that she is healthy and happy too. The purpose of this video is not to speak ill of Noella, for I won't do that, especially in a public forum. I would like to talk about my son, however. My love for my son has never waned, or waxed, or left. I've not abandoned him. Since separating with Noella, I've paid nearly $100,000 in housing. I've paid over $50,000 in household goods and supplies for him, over $15,000 in childcare and therapy. I continue to support my son and always will. Again, I am not a perfect man, but the love I have for my son is, and I will never abandon him or leave him. Again, I'm sorry I had to make this video. I just hope that clears some things up. Thanks.
All right, y'all just heard what Mr. Sweet James had to say regarding everything dealing with Noella, the divorce and things, and him actually being there for his child and not abandoning his child. I'm having a hard time believing some of this stuff. And obviously, Noella was having the same hard time as well, because Miss Girl decided that she was going to hop back to her page after he posted this video to give more of her thoughts and call out the lies in the statements that Mr. Bergener made. So y'all, let's go ahead and get into what Miss Noella had to say. Okay, so first things first. Noella says, today my ex called me for the first time in 5 months. He asked for my help with his PR. I said, of course. I told him to stop holding up support, get his son a gift for Xmas, and that I was going to use my settlement to buy a home for our family. And I publicly thanked him. Excuse me. Hours later, he posted this. I don't know why this is happening. I was very protective of him during filming and focused solely on my journey. Okay. She also goes on to say aforementioned receipts. Okay. She also has receipts regarding this, I suppose. She also says that the receipts, she wants us to know that they are criminal, they're real, and they're horrifying to relive. So for the sake of their son, she doesn't want them to see the light of day. She goes on to say happy holidays to single moms. Now, in addition to that, she continues to go on and on to give more. And this is what Noella had to say. She calls out the first lie that he said she chose the show over the marriage. She says that James wanted me on the show to promote his brand. He was my biggest cheerleader throughout the process. Only after his background check revealed he had lied to me for years about his tax debts did he hesitate. Now, at this point, 4 days before filming, it was too late to pull out. And frankly, the show was the only thing keeping him honest. Okay. So when he made the statement saying that she chose the show over the marriage, I don't know. I don't know if that's true, because he said he was really excited. This was something that she really wanted and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, because it's something she really wanted, she could have chose the show over the marriage, or he could have just been exposed and didn't want to be a part of it. Okay. So he decided to skip out. I'm kind of believing her so far, but let's keep going. She calls out another lie where he said that she was going to file for separation, which made him file for a divorce. She says that she retained an attorney with his blessing. He paid the retainer. Okay. Now, what James was telling her about his partner's indictment and financial divorce from his ex and his tax debts did not make any sense to her. She said that she wanted the third party to confirm that he was being truthful. He wasn't, but she still did not file, okay, for a separation is what she's saying. Now, she also goes on to call out the lie that James said that he's paid support. She says James cut off my credit cards when he left and emptied my savings. I believe it. Okay, she says he cut my Venmo and PayPal, which I use to pay our son's therapist. I have to send him invoices, which he often pays late, resulting in our son not getting treatment that week. I have a credit card number on my Instacart and Amazon. That is how my family has made it these past months. He has not paid rent, and we're in fear of eviction every day. Okay. And I'm like, in fear, girl, you might want to go ahead and just jump ship, but I guess not. I don't know how that's working out, but okay. That's a little weird. Okay, so if you're in fear, if he hasn't paid rent and you're in fear of eviction, I'm surprised y'all have still been there as long as you have. So I don't know if you're waiting for the Real Housewives check to come through or what's happening, but okay, let's keep going. Now, in the video, James said that they were divorced. Miss Noella says that's another lie. She says that James fraudulently filed for a divorce in Puerto Rico due to his tax scheme. It is under appeal since he lied multiple times in his testimony, and jurisdiction is in California, where they're both residents and where they were married. She also goes on to call out the lie about James as a dad. She says James has been in and out of Orange County multiple times in the past 5 months, shooting a commercial, getting Botox, and going out, but hasn't seen his son once. I believe quite a bit of what Miss Girl is saying. I believe quite a bit, girl. If you all the way down there in Puerto Rico and you know you owe the government so much money, girl, I mean, I'm surprised he even flying back into California to get Botox and to hang out and to shoot a commercial. I would think he's not coming there at all. But when it comes to the son, he gave this a whole elaborate story about when they first got the child out of surrogacy and where the child was born and how he went there and he needed to get the child out of the hospital. And I told him my child has to come home with me. He gave this all extra story, this whole extraness that we didn't need. So I don't believe that man has seen his child. I mean, I don't. I don't. If Noella said he ain't see the kid, I believe that he ain't see the kid. I believe what she said about him being late with payments make a lot of sense, considering the fact that he really tied up when it comes to the funds at this particular moment. So it's an overall messy situation. I think at this point, Noella definitely wants to have this divorce. Now, y'all know at one point on the show, Noella was saying to her mom, she was saying that she thinks he's going to come back. James is still in there somewhere. The old James is still there. And me and the mama is like, girl, no, he's not. He's not there at all. And here it is. I think she sees that James is nowhere in their body. Okay. And I think that now she probably really does, not probably, I think now she really does want this divorce from him, because it really is a headache. But you just never know. Interesting stuff about Miss Noella. What a way to come into the season, honey. Because let me tell you that little orange you be holding or whatever, girl, that thing is secured for the next season. Because this divorce stuff y'all got going on, this little battle, girl, this is gonna last well into the next season for sure. But that's all I got. Okay, for you guys that watch Orange County, I want you to hop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this overall messy situation. Okay, I'm Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.